up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Triple P&J. Y'all already know I'm Curtis. Today we have a special guest on the show.
It's your boy. What's good with it?
I've been trying to get Dre on the show for a long time, and we've been talking about it back and forth. One of my best friends. So yeah, we are definitely about to give y'all a little show. What's going on, Dre?
Man, chilling. You know, back in the Texas life, trying to stay low key. Can I go ahead and say Air Force too?
You can.
Your boy's in the Air Force now. I'm trying to just wait till my job becomes available. Yeah.
He's in the Air Force. He swore in.
Ready to get out of New Line. What I did?
You swore in. Okay, so I'm going to get straight to it. Make sure if y'all are new to the channel, y'all subscribe to the channel. You like the video, comment on the video, share the podcast on the audio platforms. Definitely make sure you download the episode and leave us a 5-star rating. We love those 5 stars.
All of them.
So,
all 5 of them.
I was scrolling on the good old Instagram because,
Okay.
you know, that's what I do sometimes. And I come up with these different questions that they be posting.
Mm-hmm.
So, this episode is, I guess, like a filler episode, pretty much, because we just pretty much decided to cut the camera on and just film a podcast episode while he's in town. So, a lot of these topics are relationship topics.
All right.
So, the first question is not from Instagram. I just want to know, and I'll answer the question as well. And if you have questions, you definitely could ask whatever
right.
too. What do you feel about open relationships / marriages?
I don't think they work. If y'all do get into like an open relationship, that got to be like a mutual agreement. I've had friends who had stories to where they agreed at one point, and then something will happen down the line.
Somebody gets more attention than the other all the time. I feel like any type of somebody else that's coming into y'all's union is gonna mess up whatever.
It's not gonna work.
I'm not gonna lie. At one point, I did think about doing an open relationship, but then I started thinking, I don't know how I would feel knowing that my partner has been with somebody else.
Is that part?
Like, if you sneak into it and I don't find out about it, I guess that's fine, because I don't know about it. But, well, I mean, that's probably still not acceptable either. But if I don't know about it, I don't know about it. But to know that somebody else is running up in you is crazy.
No, I can't do that. Like I said, I don't think it's going to ever play out in the long run. Who was? I think I think it's Neo.
He had like 4 girlfriends.
Yeah, they be walking out in public together. If it works for you, it works for you. You know, he got money though, so.
I'm not going to lie. When he was performing at the Mary J. Blige concert that I went to a couple weeks ago, I swore the way he was dancing with some of these women on stage, they had to be his girlfriends. Or they was real good performers.
I don't see how they do it. I'm jealous. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a jealous person. So if I could try to do something myself, but I don't believe, like you said, if I see my partner, if I know my partner or something like that, it just ain't gonna play out for me.
Well, I don't really feel like, you think you would be jealous if another girl was in the picture?
That part, no. That's biased for me, but that part, no. If it was another girl, that's cool, but at the same time, her opinion about it,
right? She
was like, okay, you good with the girl, then you should be good with the guy. No.
It don't work. It's a noted double standard. It's a noted double standard.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the same thing. It just ain't gonna work in the long run. It's gonna cause an issue to where you might end up losing the relationship you was already in, trying to do some, I don't want to say freaky stuff, but you're trying to do some stuff to make the marriage last longer.
No, they're being freaky. If it's open, it's because you want to be freaky with somebody else. That's pretty much what it is.
Can't help it.
Okay, so this one's not relationship. This is friendship. What would you say are some of your biggest friendship turnoffs? And I will answer the same question.
See, I like to sit at home and relax and chill. When a motherfucker just knock, hey, yo, come on, let's go, let's turn up. And it's like, yo, I'm trying to relax, kick back. It ain't really too big of an issue to pop up, but I like to be known that, like, hey, this is about to happen, this is what's about to go on, so I can be able to, like, mentally prepare myself to be able to go out in public or turn up with the event and whatnot, so.
I think I did. I popped up on you one time, and I think you were supposed to come out that night or come eat or whatever the hell we were doing that evening, and I popped up for a specific reason. I needed something that you had at the house.
Yeah.
Or I wanted something that you had at the house. And I was like, yeah, he ain't answered the phone yet. I'm just going to pull up. I'm just gonna pull up. But normally, I'm an advocate for don't pop up unannounced either. That pisses me off. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, normally I don't mind it, but then there's not too many days I have to sit at home and relax, and so sometimes if you want to relax. One time, this guy was like, hey, I actually answered the phone. He's like, hey, what you doing? I'm at home, I'm chilling, I got music playing, I done took a couple of shots, I'm chilling. He was like, all right, cool, I'm about to pull up. He said, I'm about to pull up. I said, all right, no problem.
And I brought the whole...
This guy brought the whole squad. It was already like maybe 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, come on. But no, we had a good time. But it was about 6 deep for no reason.
It was for a reason. I mean, we was definitely turning up that night. And if that's the night I'm thinking of, we all got fucked up. Like, bad.
All got faded.
It was a good time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, even though I say I don't like whenever, like, just random people pop up, I'm not saying that you random or anything, it's like, in my head, I'm like, oh, snap, I got to, like, prepare to, like, get in a good mood or this and that. But about time the drinks start rolling, the laughs start laughing, everything like that, it turned out to be good.
Do you feel like you're more of an introvert or extrovert?
Growing up, I was an extrovert. I wanted to be around people. I wanted to be the life of the party and all that stuff. But then getting older and, again, realizing how little time I have to myself now, I think I got more to like being an introvert than an introvert, which it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing, but you always still need those friends, or you always still need that company to be around to kind of get you out of that shell to be able to like turn up, have a good time, and just be in that happy mood that you have to be in. So
I feel like, and I'm getting off topic, but I feel like growing up, part of my childhood, I was an introvert because, you know, there was some people I just quite frankly didn't like back in the day, and I didn't want to be around them. But I always had my group of friends that I was friends with, and most of them I'm still friends with now. But I feel like for me to be an extrovert, I have to be comfortable around you. Like when I first meet you, you could vouch to this. When I first meet you, I'm a little bit standoffish, but then depending on the setting, if we're drinking or whatever,
once I get comfortable,
there ain't no getting rid of me unless you just do something that I don't like. But I feel like right now I would consider myself an extrovert more than an introvert. But it still depends on who I'm around.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing. I just grew up being an extrovert. Playing ball, always been around crowds of people, going to parties, always been around crowds of people. I've already been used to being like, all right, cool. I know if I'm going to go here and try to have a good time. Whoever's not having a good time, make them have a good time too. Just try to involve everybody. Which again, is fun and all, but it takes a lot of energy to do that. And so sometimes I just don't have the energy to be like, hey, let me get everybody turn. No, I'll go to a party and still be by myself, having a good time.
Yeah, I went to some events by myself too, and I had more fun meeting new people than with some of the people that I would hang out with then.
All right, I will say, how do you feel about me being around new people?
It depends on the individual.
Yeah.
So, like I said, right now I consider myself an extrovert, so I could greet you and speak to you. Hey, how you doing? Like at one of my jobs, every time we have a new person, whether in a management role or just a regular person, I would always try to be the first one to go in and be like, hey, what's going on? My name's Curtis, yada, yada, yada. What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. So I don't have a problem with new people. I definitely am a form your own opinion type of person. Like they could tell me 1,000,005 things about you, and I will remember it in the back of my head, but I will definitely form my own opinion. And 9 times out of 10, the opinion is probably the same as what everybody else said, depending on who you are. But yeah, form your own opinion type of person. I do like being around new people, and I feel like only that person could make me not want to be around them.
Yeah.
I'm normally welcoming, so if I'm not welcoming, it's something you did.
Yeah, see, I got a small circle of friends, so obviously being around that small circle, that's what makes it, you can go out to go do anything. You can go conquer the world with your 3, 4 friends or whatever. But I am the type of person, I do, like you said, somebody new that come to a job, I try to be the first person to speak to them, just kind of make them feel comfortable being there, because
we was all new. Yeah. We was all new at one point, and whether you admit it or not, we all will want somebody to be like that. Like, nobody wants to come into a job and feel like, dang, these people in here don't even talk.
Yeah, getting eyeballed the whole time, nobody trying to help you and stuff like that. So, yeah. But, yeah, I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy trying to, again, make them comfortable, just be able to get them talking. And then I'm nosy, too, so I like to ask questions. I like to see what they like to do.
You're nosy?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Okay, I never knew that.
Kind of get to their personal business. Get to their personal business a little bit, but questions like that about their personal life, that kind of what helps people come out their shell and be able to like open up and be like, okay, you know what, cool. I feel like I'm accepted here. I'm able to actually talk here and be good and happy and whatnot. So
Okay, bet. So was the popping up thing the only friendship turn off of yours? Like, what is something that somebody could absolutely do to just make you cut them off with and no comeback from it?
You answer that first. That's a good one. Cause I'm not really that much of a picky person. Because again, I am an open book as well. So I'll let you know anything. Any friends trying to jump into somebody's relationship conversations, like arguments, or just in like trying to form their own opinion to make you think the same way they think. That part of like, hey, kind of back off.
Stay in your lane type
I
thing.
don't mind your opinion, but whenever you're trying to dictate the whole thing, you're trying to like control the whole room. No, I don't like that much. I don't like that at all.
So I feel as though my friendship turnoffs, and I'm not gonna say it would make me cut them like completely off. It would just make me look at them a little bit different. I guess not showing the same support I would show you.
Yeah.
I feel like your friend and your family, your friends and your family should always be your safety net. Like, they should always be the people that you know you can come to for whatever, and you show them support, they show you support. Like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So we all want to eat at the end of the day. So I feel like me being too supportive for a friend and them not reciprocating, whether they see it or not, because I'm sure I'll bring it to your attention if something like that were to happen, because I can only bite my tongue for so long. I think that's the biggest turnoff. And then friends that, I guess it's just a personal thing. Friends that ask you for advice and steadily ask you for advice about the same thing or something close to the same thing, and then turn right around and just do what they want to do. Which I get. Everybody does what they want to do, but at the end of the day, stop asking me if you don't really want to hear what I got to say. If you just want to vent to me, then just vent to me. Don't ask me no questions.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the straightforward answer whether you like it or not. I'm not here to pick and choose sides. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. If you're wrong in the situation, be ready, because I'm going to tell you, hey, you are wrong.
That he will. There has been, I can probably count on one hand. I'm not that bad. I count on one hand how many times, maybe only a couple fingers, how many times you told me I was wrong in a situation that eventually I figured out I was wrong in too. So
and nobody likes to hear it, but it has to be said, because you don't want to be that friend. You don't want to be a yes man in a friendship.
That's something that pisses me off too, yes man friendships. Like, I don't expect you to agree with everything that I'm doing, and hope you don't expect me to agree with everything you do either. That would be something that I
won't
at all. I won't, just off of the strength of you wanting me to.
Yeah.
So
same thing with relationships too. I just went mind blank. What was the question?
The biggest turnoffs in friendships?
Biggest turnoff in relationships is, it don't really happen to me that much, but whenever, let's say, your spouse decides to go out their way and speak to your parents in a certain kind of tone, and it's like, all right, so now I got to check you like this.
Yeah, you got to respect the in-laws.
So anything that's ever happened in my situation, I'll be like, hey, I'll speak to my spouse exactly. Hey, this is what I don't like. You can bounce that back over to your relatives and whatnot. If they want to speak to me, we can have a lot of cordial conversation. But there's a situation that a family member of mine, anytime something goes on, her spouse wants to speak to my parents in a way, but my parents don't want me to react to that because they already know, like...
That's just human instinct. I feel like anybody's disrespect your parent.
Yeah.
Anybody's disrespecting your parent, it's just natural. I'm gonna want to come about my body on you.
But it's just toes down
when it comes to that, and because my parents are deceased, so you really can only say so much, little to none.
Yeah.
So I will definitely be that different individual, that one that comes out that don't nobody like. I would definitely turn into that individual.
Yeah, that's for sure.
With all disrespect.
That's a line you can't cross. All right, so cool. I guess another turn on for a friendship, same thing, is whenever the friend decides to go out his way and speak disrespectful toward a relative of mine. At that point, I don't care, we've been best friends for 12, 13, 14 years. You open your mouth a stupid way towards my people without confronting me first, it's hands. It's going to be a problem that has to get solved. You don't want to solve it, it's going to still get solved some way or another. But I'm not just going to let stuff like that slide.
Do you think you could ever bounce back from something like that?
It's hard to. So if you do something publicly, so for instance, social media, people love going to social media about stuff. If you want to go on social media and yap and do all this and that and doing all these Twitter fingers and all that, if you want something to be solved,
you're gonna have to publicly do that too.
Get right back on that daggone social media site and do the same exact thing. Say that you're in the wrong. I don't want no private apology. Apologies to me don't really matter that much because you did it with the purpose when you did it the first time. Of course.
That was gonna be my next thing. So apologies don't matter, right?
Yeah.
I like to think they do matter until I'm in the seat where somebody needs to apologize to me, and I'm like, you did that on purpose, and you knew how I was gonna feel about it, and I want to forgive you, but something deep down in me will let me forgive people, but then somehow it just always comes up. I guess that means I was never really over it, or they didn't say enough to help me get over it.
Yeah, because you can do all this and make a big old scene, and then all you come at me with, oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that, dog. And then think everything's over with.
No, we have to have a conversation.
We got to sit down. Hey, turn the camera. We got to sit down. Let's talk about it. Let's have a real conversation.
Put it on the podcast.
Let's have a real conversation about it, so.
Yeah, in my adult life, I've only had that type of situation happen like maybe 3 times to where I really actually had to sit down with the individual and just be like, look, this is what happened, this is what you did, this is what I did, I will apologize for... It's hard sometimes to apologize because you meant what you said, unless you just went too below the belt. You know, sometimes people could say things out of anger, but my apologies is normally for how I come off. Because the message still needed to get to you, but I went about it the wrong way, or I went about it in front of the group of people or something like that, when it could have just been a one-on-one conversation. So... But yeah, if somebody did that to me, that would be a friend turn off, so I would expect that to be the same thing.
I believe you said it for a reason. If you said it with your heart, with your passion, you wanted that to be heard. You wanted that to be public. So at that point, that's hard to come back from. That's really hard to come back from.
Right. Speaking of hard to come back from, do you feel like, and this is an open floor for honesty, do you feel like you could forgive your partner for cheating? And do you feel like if you cheated, that your partner should forgive you?
I just don't like the cheating thing at all, period. I just don't want it to be a part of any type of relationship, because once you're in a relationship, you're committed to that person. Not unless it's a marriage, you are committed to that person with vows and everything.
Right.
Stuff happens, relationships, I don't want to say change, but the dynamic of it do kind of change. You've kind of been with the same person for this many years, so like we said about the other thing, you kind of want to spice something up, do this or do that, but it's the going behind the back part that's really like, so you know what you were doing, you try to hide everything that you were doing while you were doing it.
It takes more to hide cheating than just being honest.
Yeah.
And they're either going to forgive you or leave you.
So, to answer that, I believe I can forgive for a cheating situation if it was like a one and done thing. So yeah, if it was a one and done thing, we could talk about it. It might take me a while to get over it. But if it was something that was consistently going on and on,
like if you have feelings for this person, then that's where the problem come into play, because it's like not only did you give this person your body, you give them your heart now too. Like they're in there.
But I will say I don't expect to ever be forgiven for cheating, because again, if I went out my way to hide something, if I went out my way to be sneaky or secretive about something, I did it for a purpose. I did it so you didn't find out. Now that you found out, it's on me, and you don't have to forgive me. Obviously, we don't want stuff to break off and branch off.
Obviously, I want you to forgive me, but I definitely understand if you don't.
Yeah,
that's the grown adult in me talking. But yeah,
would you forgive somebody for cheating on you?
I have before. You know.
All right, how did it work out then?
How did it work out?
Yeah, so
I cheated first. Like it was years different.
So you ain't have a choice but to forgive.
I mean. The difference about it was I was honest about it. Like, I didn't get caught. I came out and said what it was. Like, I was honest because I felt bad about it.
I think that's easier to forgive as well.
Yeah,
so
because
if you come out of if you know you're doing wrong and then you fess up yourself, it still is going to be a hard pill to swallow, but at the same time, you didn't get caught doing it.
Right, you're person enough to actually come to me and admit you're wrong. So I would respect that. So anyway, I forgave this person, or they forgave me, and moved forward. But then, like later on down the road, and not to get into too much detail, I found out that they were doing certain things behind my back too, and I couldn't figure out like what the disconnect was. like I could feel that there was a disconnect, but every time I would bring up a conversation, it would always turn into, well, you did this and yada yada yada, and always bringing up what happened 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So yes, I could forgive somebody for cheating because I felt like I did, and I was never told about it. Like, they never actually admitted to me. Like, I would ask, but they never admitted to it, but I just know.
Yeah. See, I feel like...
That's a different level of forgiving somebody, because you never got the apology that you needed, you never got the confession that you needed, you never got the reasoning why it happened, and then you still have to forgive this person. Well, you don't have to, but I did.
If both of y'all cheating and both of y'all get caught, y'all either got to agree to open that relationship up or agree to go your separate ways. Because at that point, there is a disconnect somewhere that y'all haven't sat down and spoke about. So,
and communication is key in friendships, relationships, anything. Effective communication is key, because some of y'all be communicating and don't know how to talk. So...
And that's my thing. If we about to talk about something, I'm not trying to argue. Like, obviously, there's going to be a lot of conversation that I don't agree with, you don't agree with, and all this and that. But at the same time, if we're going to sit down and talk about it, let's be adults. Let's actually full-blown have this conversation, right our wrongs, confess everything.
What do you feel like an argument is, though? Because I feel like a lot of times as grown adults, when you sit down and have a conversation and y'all are upset with each other, the tones is going to make it seem like an argument because we're angry, but it might not be that. So which part of the conversation do you feel like makes it turn into an argument?
I'm a big person on how you speak. Like, so tone to me, I will start catching that at an early part of the conversation to where I'm like, hey, let's try to keep it calm, let's try to keep collective.
Let's tone it down.
Yeah, let's tone that down. If I'm speaking and I get cut off, and you're just going back and forth, you're not even going back and forth, you're just cutting me off to say you're part of it without me fully explaining myself, then I'm like, okay, we can either pause this conversation, come back at another time when we both calm down. But anytime where it gets to a point to where I'm not listening to you, you're not listening to me, we're just going back and forth. It don't have to be yelling, but just going back and forth and not really letting each other finish, that's when I'll be like, yeah, it's getting a little bit too heated. Let's kind of just pull back a little bit and just resume this conversation at a later date.
Yeah, when you get your act right and when I got mine too, because clearly we don't got it right.
And that's one thing, you got to know when to step away from conversations or from, I would say, arguments, because at that point you're not really listening to what they're actually trying to say, the image that they're trying to portray on you and whatnot. So whenever that kind of get lost, just stop it. Wait a couple hours. Let's go take a shot real quick. Let's go get something to kind of cool us down.
The shot could either make it better or make it worse.
Or make it worse,
because the alcohol is going to kick in and then you're going to want to argue about something else. So I wouldn't recommend, if you already feel some type of way, and I say this from experience, if you already feel some type of way about something, talk about it before you start drinking, because you're going to drink and it's going to come out, but it's going to come out all types of fucked up.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of person you are, though, because sometimes, drinking can also kind of just, I ain't going to say level you out, but make you start realizing, oh, hey, I was doing this in the conversation. I wasn't allowing you to speak. I was being a separate way. Let's try again.
Yeah, it really depends on the situation, because I've done both. Like, there's been times where I've said things out of anger under the influence of alcohol that I probably meant to say it, but I meant to do it in a different way, like I said earlier. But I lost my train of thought.
But if you that type of person, if you just do one of these, do one of those, do one of this, that type of conversation, that can kind of go better, just because I know for myself personally, it will mellow everything out, and at that point you'll be more sensitive to what's being said. So you can actually listen and be like, oh, wow, I really did hurt your feelings.
Oh, that's what it was. So, yeah, there's been times where I've been angry when I've been drunk, but then there's also been times where I'm, like, into it with a friend or somebody, and I'll get alcohol in my system, and then I realize, damn, it really didn't have to happen like that. We need to talk. Yeah. So it goes both ways.
Yeah. So with, like, just me personally, if I'm just, like, completely sober and I'm already upset about a situation, and you're trying to talk about it immediately, I already know my wrong is I'm not going to that conversation is not going to go smooth. So I might have to step away. I might have to take a
That
shot.
conversation is not going to happen for a little bit.
Yeah. But I'm the type of person, though, I would rather step away from the situation that's making me upset so I can have time to think about it first before I come and start trying to talk and do all this. Because once I'm upset, that's whenever just stuff start flowing. That's whenever disrespectful slurs start getting thrown out, and at that point you're not having a conversation. You're just about to start an argument. So
yeah, because he did that to me before.
we ain't had to do all that.
Because he did that to me before. I had made him mad about something. I don't remember what it was. This was when we worked together. But I had made him mad about something, and I sat down because I kind of knew he was mad. But I sat down, and I was trying to have a conversation. Like, I was really trying to... I'm either immediately remorseful, or it takes me a day or two to be remorseful. And in that... I felt like I was immediate remorseful because I could see where the energy shifted at. So I sat down and I tried to have a conversation. He was like, "Is this about work?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "Well, talk to me when I'm back on the clock." I was, damn.
And so that's the part.
That's a Curtis response.
That's the part of me where I'm like, if I'm already upset in the situation and it's you trying to talk to me about it immediately, I'm not even here to listen for it, which is a bad thing, which it's not good to do at all. That's something I have to improve with myself. But if I'm upset and you know you upset me and now you're trying to come back and do a whole 180, be like, hey, nah, I ain't trying to hear none of that.
Now, there is a such thing as, like, nitpicking. Like, when you know you... And damn, I feel like I did that before, too. When you
So who the problem is?
Both of us.
Okay.
Both of us. But, like, when you already know I'm pissed off at you and you come up to me or I come up to you and you're steadily trying to talk to me and you're trying to, like, change the topic and we didn't just have, like, a heated discussion or something. You're trying to change the topic to something else. Because that happened before and I was like, so what are you having for dinner? I don't know. I haven't thought that far yet. So yeah,
I really don't be thinking that far ahead sometimes. Like my focus be like, hey,
yeah, the tone was different though. You
Yeah.
could definitely tell if you don't know Dre, or if you know Dre, you could definitely tell when he's upset with you.
I know a lot of people gonna agree with that one, and I don't like to be that way. I try my best to not be.
Well,
that
I'd
way,
rather
but-
keep it real and let you know I'm upset with you than to have secret animosity.
Yeah, but if I say I'm upset, I'm gonna let you also know like, hey, just give me a minute. I don't want to talk about that right now. If you want to speak to me, if we on the clock, we can keep it professional. I ain't gonna just throw you off from work and not do my job and then have you have to correct me this and that. But if you trying to talk about personal stuff at work and I'm already upset, no, we talking about work. The personal stuff can be off the clock. It be like that sometimes, man. It be like that sometimes.
Okay, so I think this was the last question. Unless you have some, but what are some things that you feel like you should share with your partner no matter what?
Feelings, and that's something I do not do like good. Is my
Well, I
feelings.
mean, knowing that you need to do that, that's
easier said than done because that's something I
Yes.
got to work on. And just again, and if I'm in that heated moment, if I'm just in that depressed state and I just don't want to talk about it, I expect to be left alone. Yes, that's something I can verbally say, but again, if I'm in my feelings and I say leave me alone, it can come off pretty disrespectful. And I know I be doing that, and I don't be trying to, but it happens. It definitely happens. But I would definitely say speak about feelings, how you feel, how something being said to you made you feel, or how something being done, whether it's public, private, whatever the case is, you got to talk about it. You have to speak about it. Don't go to sleep angry. That's one thing I was taught at a young age, and I understand it now. Do not go to sleep angry. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So you try to make sure that you at least get it off your chest.
Tomorrow. You just never know.
So you might either want to go ahead and just get it off your chest, or just make it known like, hey, I'm not upset with you, or I am upset with you. I just need a minute so I can kind of collect myself first before we get to talking about it.
And I think that's why I like to have those immediate conversations sometimes, because it'll sink in a little bit, and then I'm like, dang, any of us could like walk outside and get hit by a car after the argument, and then we're done.
Yeah,
so, and it's never patched up. So that's the type of thing I've been thinking about when I have to humble myself and make up with somebody or let them hear me out or hear them out. I always think about how short life is. Like, you go through experiences in life and it molds you into the person you are today. So, yeah, I feel like...
And I will say, if you do something wrong and you know you did it wrong, or you did this wrong, or you made them feel a certain way, and you go apologize, you can't just in your head expect them to go ahead and forgive you.
Right.
So that came back to one of the first questions, is how I feel about like saying like the apologies and whatnot. I feel like you said it for a reason. I feel like you did what you did for a reason because of how you felt. So just, that's why apologies to me are hard. And I'm like, no, you said it for a reason. Like, you meant what you said. So now I know you feel bad for it because it made the situation worse or it made the event go down worse. But you just got to be able to take it in and just either brush it off or be prepared to have that conversation and kind of speak about that more clearly.
Those conversations definitely be tough too.
That's why I say you gotta go ahead and just do one of those and go ahead and
shot,
just like,
yeah, it'll come right on out.
Yeah.
But I feel the same. To answer that question, something you should share with your partner. You said feelings, emotions. That's the same thing. I feel like you said, if they offend you, don't just like get an attitude with them. I feel, and I'm guilty of that too, but don't just get an attitude with them. Just express how you feel. Like, maybe not in the moment while you're mad. Because there's a lot of times where I've spoken on things in that moment where I'm heated, or you just offend me right there in that moment, and I'm real quick to clap back.
Yeah.
And I need to stop that.
That's something we both need to work on.
Yes. Acknowledgement. But real quick to clap back, but then I'm clapping back because my feelings are hurt or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're never going to get my point, because the way I'm coming at you when I'm clapping back is going to piss you off. So then you're going to end up saying some things too. So I think in the moment, in the heat of the moment, you just need to cool off a little bit, and then once the dust settles and the hurt feelings are over, then you still need to have that conversation with your person and let them know, this is how you made me feel and this is why.
Yeah.
And then that person can either decide if they're going to apologize or get cussed out again.
But no, that's what also is the same thing. You can't do something and then immediately want to apologize and expect them to kind of just brush everything under the rug, because it made them feel a certain type of way for that particular reason. So just be wary of what you say. Whatever you say, whatever leaves your tongue, you cannot just take that. You cannot just take that back. You got to be responsible. You got to be respectful to your peers, to your friends, your family, to anybody that you have in your circle. Be respectful for it. They have feelings too. It ain't just you. Everybody live their own world, their own life. You don't know how it's gonna hit somebody. It might not be the deepest thing to you, but to them, that might have been everything to them. So
Yeah.
spread some love, spread some positivity, man. Life's too short to be being all upset and being mad all the time. Granted, life is what it is, but you got to find a way to.
And stop letting life make y'all bitter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, life is not always going to be easy, but
That'll close doors for you real quick.
Yeah.
Being bitter at the world.
Especially about being bitter about things that the world didn't do to you.
Yeah. Like, sometimes you gotta take it up to the chest, and then the second you walk out that door, you gotta just go ahead and let it go, and then just start over. It's never an issue to start over. It sucks sometimes, but start over, start fresh, try to get back in that positive mindset.
Oh, I did have one more question. What do you feel about your friends, like your male friends, being friends with your significant other?
I'm cool with that, as long as you know what lines to and what not to cross. Cause hold on, get off
It's
me.
not editing out.
No, so I had a lot of female friends growing up, so me being in a relationship, that kind of made it look kind of funny. But again, that's the part of being open about it. Like, hey, no, this is this friend from this time ago, and we didn't had our own type of history together, how long we known each other, gone through heartbreaks together, gone through major events together that was good, and celebrated with each other. So as long as you know what lines to and what not to cross, I'm okay with that. I don't mind that at all. Because my girl, she has plenty of male friends. I spoke to them, they'll dab me up, we'll take some shots together, we'll have a good time at the event, but they don't ever cross that line to where it's like, I gotta feel uncomfortable, or I gotta stand back and watch how they move around this particular person.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm not that insecure to feel like, okay, you're friends with the opposite sex or whatever, and I'm jealous instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get jealous that easy. I can, but I don't get jealous that easy. So
yeah, and also let's say that I have somebody that I don't like, and later on down the road I realize that y'all are good friends. It's okay for me still not to like this person. I don't mind still being around this person at this point, but at the same time, they probably did something to me or I did something to them. They kind of cut us off. I'm not gonna be like, oh hey, I don't like this person. You can't talk to that person.
What do you feel like that? How do you feel like that in a friendship? Like, do you feel like your friends should and not like your close friends? They should not like the same people you don't like.
It really depends, but like I said, I got a small circle, so if I don't have any history with this person at all, I don't really know this person besides the name and the face. If my homeboy told me like, hey, no, that ain't the one, or they did this, or this how they are, or you got to watch them. I'm definitely gonna take their side. I don't want to be the one who have to touch the fire that know that it's hot. Right. I don't want to make myself, what's the word I'm looking for, not exposed, but I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm going to get hurt for not listening. But you got to form your own opinions. But again, if I just know you by your name and your face, and the same person or a different person saying the same story about this,
and you know, sometimes with my friends, I won't even tell them the story or the reason why I have a problem with that person, because then I feel like they're gonna automatically judge them.
Yeah, the way you see them as a friend might not be the same way that I see them as an individual. So at that point, like, I can't really control that. Everybody lived a different life, so they probably connected in a way that I can't connect with them with.
Yeah, like I will say, form your own opinion from the jump. However, if you formed your own opinion and then later on down the road that person does something similar like they did to me, then we could speak on it. Like, I mean, if we're really good friends, I probably wouldn't already told you about it anyway, but I still want you to form your own opinion. I don't feel like I've ever been the type of friend to be mad at somebody for being cool with the individuals that I wasn't cool with, but then don't do the same thing to me.
Yeah, but if I witness this person being away towards one of my people that I done went out with or just in my little circle, oh yeah, I don't really have to ask no more questions. But I see how you are to this person. I don't want to be treated that same way, so I'm not going to let you get that opportunity.
Facts.
So it's really how you look at everything, and
loyalty runs deep over here.
Yeah. Whenever one swing, we all swing, and that's not a good thing. But at the same time,
we all do.
Yes, I know. No.
If you know, you know. But
no, so no, we don't all do that. But I ride behind my people.
It's okay to have some calm friends too. I mean, you can't have the whole clique popping off.
Yeah, that's just gonna cause some more issues.
Yeah, that's a dangerous crew. But do you have any questions or anything you want to add to this episode before you're ready to close out?
I don't think so. If I do, we gonna roll this camera again. Just
roll it back for part 2. It's gonna be a whole nother episode. It's a 2-parter.
I think everything's pretty clear right now. So if y'all have any opinions, y'all have something else to say about that, or what to add on, or kind of your opinion about what we said, just comment down below. Let us know, and kind of we can go and kind of write that down maybe, and just kind of bring that back up.
I respond, or the podcast page responds. Most of the time it's me, but yeah. So with that being said, thank you, Dre, so much for finally stopping by the show.
Appreciate you for letting me stop in.
We about to take a shot or two.
Like I said, it's your boy. Hey, appreciate y'all for letting me stop in on y'all show. Like you said, like, subscribe, comment, everything. Share with your friends. Put the notifications on. You will know when the next episode is out. And on the audio platforms, make sure you download the episode so we can get our streams up. And we have finally, as of today, on YouTube, we have finally reached our 1,000 subscribers. All because of y'all. We appreciate it so much. So much. But we will see y'all next week. Peace. It's your boy.